everybody. I am Kari Naimon, and just a bit of background about me. I've been in the HR world now for probably 20 years, and I have been using AI very consistently for about the last 8 months. I've been having a lot of fun playing with it, and our intent today is really to just share with you a way to get started using AI in your world.
And I'm Scott Hay. I've been in the high-tech industry for over 20 years and specifically in HR and learning and development roles. And I'm loving what AI is doing to help us more quickly generate content that matters, come up with answers that we need to problems. So today we're gonna go through a couple examples of doing that.
We do realize that people watching this video are going to be at all different points on the AI learning spectrum. So for some of you, it may be too basic. For some of you, it's going to be really helpful. And then there's going to be everything in between. So use what works for you, and feel free to put comments in the post video area if you want to see more of something, less of something. If you think something would be helpful, we're taking a look at that on a regular basis. So one of the poll answers that you all were interested in was just-in-time training. I'm going to share, Scott and I are going to share with you today a way to do just-in-time training for a particular topic. And just know that you can do this for any topic, but we're going to show you one for a particular topic and how to use ChatGPT to remind yourself of the training that you had and how to apply it immediately. So the area of learning that I wanted to focus on here, that I chose to focus on here, was crucial conversations. So you start out by just open up ChatGPT. There's a free version right now you see at the top. That's GPT 3.5. The GPT-4, I think right now is $20 a month. It gives you a few more bells and whistles, but for our purposes right now, 3.5 is going to be just fine. So just use the free one. Don't worry about paying for anything. The first thing you need to do is to write a prompt. And all a prompt is it's a series of sentences that tell the AI what you want it to do. So I'm going to put the prompt in that I created earlier and walk you through why the prompt is set up the way it is. So the first thing you want to do is you want to be thinking about AI as you're asking the AI, who you can think about as a person, a question. What characteristics do you want that person to have who's going to be answering your question? So in this case, you, AI, are an experienced and empathic human resources professional. You, AI, are highly knowledgeable about the crucial conversations framework as contained in the book, and that's the book. The topic for the conversation is that Scott is underperforming. You must output at least 6 possible negative statements the employee might voice during the conversation and a good response to each statement. So basically what you're doing is you're setting the stage. Who are you talking to? Then you're saying what you want the AI to provide for you based on that background.
The possible addition somebody could think about as well is also the tone of the response. As you look at the responses, maybe I want it to be a very professional tone, or maybe I know this person likes more open conversations and it should be an informal tone. So you could also say, give me your most informal response, and the AI engine will then tailor the tone as well for what you get back.
Okay, so that's excellent. I think what I'll do is I'll run it like it is for now, and then I could run it again, adding that tone, and just see how the response changes. So then you just hit enter, and it's going to give you exactly what you asked for, which is what are a number of ways Scott might respond that are negative, because going into these conversations, that's always the thing we're worried about. And how might you, as the person having the conversation, respond? So now you can do a follow-up. So my follow-up, if I'm talking to someone, is there anything else I need to do to be prepared for this conversation? So now it's going to provide me with all these other things I should be thinking about before going into the conversation to make the conversation as effective as possible. Now, what's cool about this is we call it just-in-time training because you don't have to have read the book, or maybe you read the book or took the course 6 months ago and you don't remember any of this. This is reminding you of everything as you need it, just in time to walk into the conversation.
I think you're probably going to go into this, but you can go further and start to ask for more specific examples. Maybe you're not clear on active listening and want to learn more about that, or maybe you want to practice some of this. So maybe that's something you can show us as well.
Okay, so why don't I just add practice, help me practice active listening. And again, I have no idea what it's going to provide once I type this in, but let's just see what it does. So now it's giving me all sorts of ideas about what I need to do to make sure that I am a really, really good active listener. And now let's say I want to practice. So I'm going to say, act like Scott, help me practice this conversation. So again, it's a conversation. Think about it as a conversation with someone else being the AI. So here's how maybe one of the scenarios in terms of how the conversation could go. How do you open it up? This is probably what Scott's going to say, and back and forth. And if you want to dig into any of these, you just continue to talk to the AI as if you're talking to an expert, someone who can help you with this conversation. The one thing I will say is that we chose Crucial Conversations as the one to share with you, but your initial prompt, which I'll go back to the top here, could be anything. It could be meeting management. It could be setting SMART goals. It could be anything. It doesn't need to be a book. It can just be a topic.
And you can even act as maybe even celebrities or personas that you know would be interesting. For example, in this case, maybe I'm trying to inspire Scott to improve his performance. And we know like Tony Robbins is very inspiring. So you could say, act as Tony Robbins and give me this performance feedback. And it would use a lot of things that Tony Robbins does to inspire you to be empowered and to unleash your potential and so on, to connect with that employee in that way.
Be Tony Robbins, and let's see what it says. And now it's going to give you that feedback in more of the voice of Tony Robbins. So opportunity is endless. And this is a really good place to start. And don't be afraid to try stuff and just see where it lands. The one caveat I would say is just know that anything you put into chat is not secure. They can use that information to train the AI. And so I would just caution you to not put in anything that is overly personal and or confidential. And I think that's going to be the tip for today.